Peace and much love, family. I'm your partner in purpose, Donslow Brown, and I have the distinct honor and privilege of sharing this wonderful message with you all. But first and foremost, I want to thank the man of the hour, Dr. Anthony Shannon. Thank you so much for your great leadership, your vision, and absolutely the opportunity for me to even be here, to share, to serve. Thank you. Thank you so much. Today, I'm going to be talking about a topic called the discerning leader. Now, what is the discerning leader? The discerning leader is someone who demonstrates the ability to make sound judgments and decisions based on wisdom, insight, understanding. They rely on careful observation, reflection, and often a moral or spiritual compass to guide their leadership. I believe we have a few of those people here today. The discerning leader has different traits about them, and we're going to talk about that today. So we're going to talk about the key traits of a discerning leader. We're also going to talk about the importance of a discerning leader at home, in ministry, at work, and also how can you become a discerning leader? Some of the traits of a discerning leader: they're observant, they're empathetic, they possess knowledge and wisdom, they genuinely care. Now let's create a scenario. Let's say we're at work and Sarah normally comes in happy, excited, ready to work, ready to tackle some things. But today she comes in and her head is down, her countenance is down, her energy is down. The discerning leader, being observant, notices this. There's a slight change in atmosphere. Now, when I say observant, I'm not saying being nosy. But on the contrary, you notice again, there's a difference in the air. This particular person, when they come in, they bring in such great energy and excitement and happiness. But for some reason, something is different today, which brings me to my second point. The discerning leader is empathetic. When you are empathetic, that means that you can feel essentially what others are feeling. Sometimes you can discern or pick up on what people are feeling without them even saying anything. You just notice something, you feel something that's different with the individual. So we go up to Sarah. Sarah, how are you doing? What I don't mean to be in your business because I'm not nosy, but what's going on, Sarah? Talk to me. How can I be of service? And this brings us to our next one. The discerning leader possesses knowledge and wisdom. Now, let's say Sarah tells you that they're going through some stuff at home. Now that you've been informed, right? There's knowledge, there's information she's giving you. Now the wisdom aspect is what kicks in. Now, sometimes I know we make wisdom and knowledge synonymous, or they're the same, but knowledge ultimately is information, things that we know how to do, that we've been taught to do, and wisdom is what we know to do based on our experience. So ultimately, Sarah says, this is what I'm going through at home. And because of your knowledge and wisdom, the wisdom allows you to say, you know what, Sarah, I've been through this too. I've encountered that situation before as well. And I know exactly what you're going through. And this brings on the last part of the discerning leader. They genuinely care. I didn't go to Sarah again to be nosy. I keep saying nosy. I didn't go to Sarah to be nosy. I'm observant. I pick up on the changes. I'm empathetic. I have knowledge and wisdom. And now through my genuine care, I'm relaying to her that I care about her, that I'm sorry she's feeling this way. I'm giving information and things that can help her. And ultimately, in that time that I'm speaking with her, oftentimes they feel better. or at least they feel good knowing that there's someone that legitimately cares. That is a discerning leader. Now let's talk about the importance of a discerning leader at home, at work, and at ministry, during our ministry hour, right? So for starters, let's talk about at work. A discerning leader is very important because they have problem solving. They have problem solving and during complex situations. A discerning leader in the workplace can analyze complex challenges, identify the root causes, and create effective solutions. It kind of goes back to what I was saying about uh, being observant. When a discerning leader sees a problem, they don't just see a problem and sit on it or dwell on it, but on the contrary, they are able to analyze and then come up with solutions or reach out to proper chain of command to make them aware of the issue so that we can resolve it together. Okay. So they're able to discern, to pick up on these problems, address them, okay, and then from there, create effective solutions. Another thing about being that particular leader is they can make effective decision making. They can make effective decision making. So a discerning leader knows how to prioritize tasks and resources, making decisions that align with both short-term goals and long-term objectives. Very important. For instance, when dealing with a budget cut, they can balance immediate needs for future growth, ensuring that essential projects are still funded without compromising the company's overall strategy. The discerning leader is aware of the needs of the company. They're aware of the vision of the company. And because they align with it. And every decision that's made is based on the needs of the whole. Okay. So that is very important to have whenever we are discerning or whenever we are viewing a discerning individual who's a discerning leader. Okay. How is this impactful in a ministry? The importance of a discerning leader in ministry, guiding others with compassion and clarity. A discerning leader in ministry helps others navigate different spiritual and life challenges by providing wisdom and compassion. Man, that just feels good saying that. Wisdom and compassion. For example, if a congregant is facing a moral dilemma, and you know, a lot of us, we've witnessed this in the past, so we've even been through it ourselves, right? They're experiencing a moral dilemma. A discerning leader can offer counsel rooted in biblical principles, right? Not just at this point our own knowledge, but what the word says, right? While considering the individual's unique circumstances. Also, during crisis management, okay? We know that there's sunshine and there's a season for sunshine, there's a season for rain, right? During crisis, during times of crisis, such as community tragedy or a moral failure within the ministry, a discerning leader provides stability and direction. They help the congregation navigate through turbulent times by offering clear, wise counsel and maintaining a perspective of hope and faith. Man, I tell you, being a discerning leader allows, or rather helps, not just in your own personal life, but it helps everybody that's with you. Let's talk about at home. The importance of a discerning leader at home. Parenting and guidance. A discerning parent can understand the emotional and developmental needs of their children, providing the right kind of guidance at the right time. One example I want to give you is, for me, I travel for work. aside from coaching and training, I also provide health informatics training throughout the country. I've been doing this for over a decade. And as you can imagine, I have a wife, a beautiful wife, and 4 children at home. And man, there are times where I go away for periods of time and I come back and I notice that my children or one or two of my kids are struggling with a particular thing. And, initially the thought that comes to mind is, man, I wish I was physically here when they were initially dealing with it. But because of that discernment, because I'm picking up on the changes from when I was last there, I can notice, I can see that there's a trend, or I can see that there are certain things that took place that caused there to be a fall or caused there to be a shift in my child's academics or in their conduct. And I can kind of backtrack, right? I can kind of backtrack with them to bring them back to where they ought to be. Okay. Another thing too is conflict resolution. In family dynamics, a discerning leader can recognize underlying issues that contribute to conflicts and help mediate solutions. Whether it's resolving disagreements between spouses or siblings, a discerning leader fosters harmony and understanding by offering balanced perspectives and promoting healthy communication. Man, that's so key. That's so key right there. Question for you. How can we become discerning leaders? I know you might be seeing this and saying, as I see a lot of these traits with my ministry leader or with my dad or my boss, but how can I become a discerning leader? Now, there's a few things that we can touch on. There's a few things that we can incorporate to becoming a discerning leader. One, now, the list that I have here, this is only three of many, but I want to point out that you definitely start off with Matthew 6:33. Come on, y'all, let's do it. Matthew 6:33 tells us, seek first the kingdom, his kingdom and his righteousness, and everything will be added onto you. The things that that's being added on is his understanding, his knowledge, his guidance, his law, his order, all that put together, right? But on top of that, if we're looking to be discerning leaders as we're seeking his kingdom, I'm going to maintain humility. Okay? A discerning leader is humble, acknowledging their limitations and seeking advice when necessary. Humility builds trust and openness with those you lead. We're going to avoid impulsive decisions. My goodness. A lot of times we like to believe that, everything is a word, or everything is, he's the Father's telling us to do certain things. Sometimes we need to sit down. Discerning leaders takes their time in evaluating situations, weighing all options before acting. We don't rush into decisions. We take our time to gather information and consider long-term consequences. Lastly, I would say we would seek divine wisdom. When facing challenges or making decisions, take time to seek the Father's direction through prayer. Trust that he'll provide wisdom that transcends human understanding. A lot of us are familiar with this particular scripture. It says in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in Adonai with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will direct your path. My goodness. Before I close up today, I just want to quickly share a testimony with you all. I remember, as I mentioned before, I travel for work teaching doctors and nurses how to use their specific computer system. I was working in Florida. I believe it was Vero Beach, Florida, this time. Great time there. I just remember walking in that early that day. I was praying. Uh, I was, asking the Father to ultimately impress upon my heart to lead and to do whatever He wants me to do. Right. I don't believe that we're here just to be here to go, just to have a natural experience with supernatural beings having a natural experience. On the contrary. So I went to work one day. I got on the hospital floor, and there was a particular nurse who was there, um, and she she seemed something seemed to be going on. She didn't make it too obvious, but I picked up, I discerned that there was something with her. Now, normally, I say hi to everybody, I say good day, I greet them. But this particular time, I decided not to just say, hey, how are you? I decided to tarry with her a bit. So she shared with me that she was going through some things. I said, how are you doing? She said, not so good. And it's ironic because oftentimes, how often do we ask people, how are you? And we don't actually listen to the response. We keep on walking. Hey, how you doing? And we're gone. But I stopped. I lingered for a while and I listened. And at the time, she was getting ready to begin her shift. And I said, hey, if you have some time later on, do you mind if I speak with you? And friends, I lied to you not. I'll end with this. I came back early from lunch later that day. And this young woman, she broke down. She shared with me some of the things she was going through. She told me she needed prayer. She was going through so much. And as I prayed with her, excuse me, as I prayed with her, as I embraced her, um, as I also followed up with her once everything was said and done, I thought to myself, wow, how many people are suffering in silence because we choose not to discern what's going on around us? Because we choose not to discern what's going on with our colleagues, our teammates, our spouses, our congregants. It is very important for us to be sensitive enough, to be empathetic enough, to be observant enough to notice when something is wrong with someone around you, especially when we've all been gifted the ability to be able to make or be a change for them. My name is Donslow Brown, family. I can be reached at uncagedconsultancy.com. I am on most social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out to me. Again, I am your partner in purpose. I have a company that focuses on being accountability partners. We also provide professional and personal development. Please feel free to reach out to us. Again, it has been an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Shannon. Everybody else, you have a wonderful rest of this event. Enjoy. Much love.